in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I know what you're saying. I tell you what, by looking at your website, you're not going to think that you're a one-man operation, at all. You've got everything, you look like it's a huge, like you're a Best Buy or something, huge. Well, I wouldn't say that though. That's kind of mean. I wouldn't want to put you down like that. But no, you've really got it together.
I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to build my business to where I'm actually forming as of January 2012 an LLC, so I'll be a limited liability corporation, I think it is. But with that formation, I'll be able to, it'll open up more opportunities for business loans, bank loans, or even just finding a buyer for my business. And I'm not saying that I want to sell yet, but if everything goes well and depending on the direction my site goes, if it takes off, maybe I'll keep it on board. If it's kind of stays at a stagnant rate, then I'll probably just get rid of it or see what I can do to get it sold. But that's what I'm trying to do right now.
So the main reason for your LLC would be for marketing it later down the road for merges or sale, or is there any other advantages for an LLC in your eyes?
In my opinion, yes. Banks will take you more seriously. People will take you more seriously if you're an LLC. Not only that, you're covering yourself in the sense that you can't get sued when you're on site, not at least not
Right.
directly. And if you get sued, either way, your business is going down, not you. And as a sole proprietor, you're
Right.
kind of you miss that insurance there. So
And then also as an LLC, do you, the liability part, that's big too. If you mess something up. As far as banks go, though, do you feel like you want to take out a loan to maybe buy a building or something, maybe, or is there do you have any reason or any ideas with the banks as far as being an LLC?
well, like I mentioned earlier, it's business was great. When I first started off, it was just amazing. I was getting a great income. I loved it. I had my own hours. It was an amazing experience. But then you kind of reach a point where, like I said earlier, you plateau, and it's steady income. It's stable, but you're not getting any more. And we have to remember that this isn't just a hobby. This isn't just, or at least for me, it's not just a hobby. It's a business. It's my primary source of income, and I need to, from a business aspect, I need to see how and plan how I'm going to get past this point. How am I going to grow my business? So, in the direction I'm taking is by forming an LLC, maybe looking for a partner, and maybe hiring my first technician and seeing where it goes with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big step. That'll definitely help you. If we go back to your website, you were talking earlier about link circles and other ways of optimization for search engines. Did you want to go into some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to my site, you'll see that I'm backlinking with a couple other sites here. If you go to resources, then click on links. I don't have too many on here, but these are just requests that I've gotten in from different people on Podnutz and a couple other ones that are unrelated. But when you're creating a link circle, and by the way, my page rank, my Google page rank is a page rank 3, which is it's actually not too bad. Most, I think, I don't know the exact percentage, but 40% of or 30% of most sites are either a 0 or a 1, which
Mhm.
Google kind of grades on a scale from 0 to 10. So being a
Wow.
page rank 3 is not too bad at all, and that's just by doing the link circle, asking people to link back to my website. In return, I'm doing the exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
Uh, there's a
So that just benefits everybody on their Google scores then.
Well, for me, at least when I was starting off, I was a rank 0, so I wanted to link with everybody. You just want everyone to point to you. But when you become to a page rank 3, 4, and 5, you really want to be careful with who you're linking to because it might backfire. Their rank 0 might link to you, and it might just look bad on your side. So you have to. At first, when I was starting off, I was linking everybody, but now you have to be careful and decide who you want to link with. Backlink
Oh,
with, sorry.
so a guy with a website with a 0 could pull yours down then, but having you have like a sort of a bad link then, or a non. non-usable kind of a link
You
that's not popular.
you'd be helping him more than he'd be helping you. And I actually ran into an experience where a not safe for work website was linking to me and it just looked really bad. So I
Oh, I see.
requested so I requested for them to take it down and they finally did 30 days later. And luckily we didn't have to do a subpoena or anything like that. But I'm
Oh,
glad they
yeah.
did it the easy way. So you got to be
I see
careful with it.
one of your links is you got a link to get involved. Water essential for life. Do you have a personal affiliation with that group? Is there something there, or how did you
Well,
get started with that?
I'll talk about who my charity or who Charity Water is. I don't want to get too in depth in how I know them, but Charity Water is an organization that basically provides water throughout the world, the most basic function of life. And you can create a campaign on there. And if you want to do your part and help people out, I tell my clients, just go and, give $1, give $5, or take it off from my bill, and I'll go do it myself, and I'll add on there. But yeah, it's just a little personal affiliation that I did. I thought was going to be something that I can contribute back. So
No, that's
it,
good.
it wasn't for a link. It was more just to help out.
Oh yeah. So what kind of businesses are you servicing, and what kind of work do you have coming in? Do you have a lot of, like, let's say, laptops or desktops? Is there some specialty that you're got a niche for there?
I would say it's a mixture of everything. I'm getting everything from laptops to desktops, Macs, Linux. I had a Linux the other day or a couple weeks ago. Windows, of course. I do get some businesses where I go on site. I go on sites and they have a server deployed, and it's a small business network, but nothing over 20 nodes. Nothing that's too crazy. Nothing too advanced. Not that I couldn't handle it or I couldn't have the consultant work with me on it, but it's just a mixture of residential and small to medium-sized businesses.
What kind of percentage do you think you're doing for residential to businesses about?
I'd say about 60-40, 60 on the residential and 40 on the business.
Oh, that's good. Now, sometimes you've got those consultants that you're working with at different jobs. Sometimes do you have some of those guys maybe have an expertise that you might not be so experienced in too? Have you had any of that?
Cisco guys, anybody with an NA, CCENT, NA, CCNT, I'm sorry, CCNP, these guys, Cisco guys, when you're working in a larger scale network and it gets a little more complicated and you're deploying an ASA server or something, or I'm sorry, an ASA router switch, anything to do with Cisco, you probably want to call one of these guys on site, because if it's above your level of expertise, it's better to have someone on board that can either show you and return client. So it works out for both
I guess
parties.
I guess that's kind of what being in a large metropolitan area like you are helps out a little bit there. I don't know if I would be able to find one around here to help me with something like that, or if I would even get the call on a job like that anyway. That,
You know, I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
You got to use this website, and I want to mention it here because I use it quite a bit. Freelancer.com. And what Freelancer is if you want to find uh, someone that's available for work that specializes in PHP or SEO or HTML or CSS or JavaScript, or some kind of markup language, coding language, or some level of expert, or something that you're not quite efficient with, you can go on freelancer.com, set a bid for 20, $30, and have at least 20, 30 guys come back and tell you, hey, I can do the work for you. That's, by the way, how I got my logo just built a couple days ago, by going
Ah,
to, yeah,
that's
I'm
a
not
nice
that
logo.
creative.
Yeah, that's cool.
It,
I like. Now, okay, so the freelancer.com, I can see with the SEO, but you're right, you get some local guys too that could go on site with you off of that too.
no, not off of that. Local
Okay.
guys are either guys that I bump heads with, or I use a website called meetup.com, which I don't know if you guys have heard of, but you set up a meetup group, you all go chit chat, have a cup of coffee, and kind of just bump heads with other people in the industry. So you eventually get some numbers and call those guys and say, hey, are you looking to make some extra cash? And for the most part, they're all not, no one's going to turn down money. So at least not in this
Right.
economy. Yeah.
All right. Did you have another thing that you wanted to bring tonight?
Um, other than going over SEO, I know that a couple other guys had some questions on running an AdWords campaign, and Google offers a lot of different online services from AdWords to AdSense to Google Analytics to Webmaster Tools, and a lot of guys aren't using these. And I want to stress that it's important to use these different Google tools for us because it's has helped my business out a lot, at least with new business and getting people to pick up the phone and call me. So,
Do you have an AdWords account then that you use along with your good page ranking?
oh, absolutely, man,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's good to show up organically, and it's good to be on the top there. But overall, some people are just not going to hit the scroll wheel and scroll down a couple, um, I guess, millimeters or whatever, or they're not going to scroll down the page. So they're going to see the very first link and they're going to call that person. And yeah, you're probably paying about $4 to $5 a click, and it gets expensive. But if you spend $20 that day and you make $300, it's definitely a justified expense. And I think that to expand your business and to pick up more clientele, it's definitely worth it. I had a lot of mixed reviews on AdWords, and a lot of people didn't like it, and I just it works for me.
I like it. It brings in some work, and in fact, I had one last month that the guy actually said, I saw your AdWords ad, but I clicked on your organic link anyway. I'm like, oh, thanks. That was kind of nice.
Should have taken, I guess, $3 or $4 off the bill or something. I don't know what you're paying per click, but
Yeah, I gave him a good deal. It was kind of neat. It was a candle factory, and it was the most amazing smelling computer I've had in my shop. It was really cool.
yeah.
Um,
But not just AdWords, man. There's Google Analytics. If you're interested on your website and if you want to get more involved with your site and have it work for you, you got to install Google Analytics. You got to see where the traffic's coming from, what pages they're hitting, what articles or posts that you're posting that are getting the most traffic in, and Google Analytics kind of helps you determine what kind of content to post on your site and what brings in traffic. Because again, the more traffic you're getting, the more Google finds you attractive, the more higher you're going to rank in the search engines. That's I guess, the easy formula, I guess.
the Google Analytics now, is that just some code that you paste into your HTML then to get that started for you?
It depends on the kind of site you have. If you have a WordPress deployment, you would post it before the /head section of the header.php file. If it's a HTML site, something that's strictly static, then you can post it pretty much on every one of your pages in the footer or the header. But I'm sorry, in the header. But mainly, yeah, it's a piece of code that you're going to post in the header. It tracks all the different types of visitors, where they're coming from, what countries, what states, what city, what browser they used, and it gets extremely detailed so you know exactly what kind of people are coming to your site. And if you're trying to hit like a remote support um, client base, then it's going to be amazing for you.
Where
At least
oh, I'm sorry. So when you get that pasted in there, then how do you access your information from that?
just going to, what is it? It's google.com/analytics. It's all tied in with your Google account. You'll be able to see your exact campaign, not your campaign, I'm sorry. You'll be able to see all your traffic monitoring information. You'll be able to filter exactly what you're looking for, and it's an easy to use interface. So if you're not using it, you got to be with Google Analytics.
What other Google tools do you suggest? You got AdWords, Analytics. What's another one that a lot of people might be missing, you think?
Google Webmaster Tools. And Google Webmaster Tools it goes a step beyond kind of helping you manage your site, because our sites are not perfect. They're, at least I've never met a site that was built perfect. We're going to have broken links. We're going to have things, crawl errors, or a sitemap that Google didn't like. So what Google Webmaster Tools does for us is that it kind of puts it and tells us, hey, Google doesn't like this. Google doesn't like this sitemap. Resubmit it in XML format or resubmit in HTML format. But if you go onto Webmaster Tools, just launch it. Just start using it. Go to YouTube, type in how to use Webmaster Tools, and there's literally hundreds of different videos of people giving just positive information about it and how to use it.
Huh. So did it find quite a bit of stuff for you that you had to go back and maybe make little changes to?
It still has things, man. I mean, I
Does
have
it?
like, yeah, I haven't recently submitted I had some changes